A celebration 50 years in the making for Florida's Space Coast. This weekend, it was back in 1969. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first men to walk on the moon. The work forever changing the course of history, and their historic trip is being remembered not only across the country, but also right here in South Florida. In all, 12 Americans would eventually go to the moon. Tonight, WPTV News Channel 5's Andrew Lawfome talked to the former wife of the sixth man who landed on the moon as part of Apollo 14.
50 years later, and Anita Mitchell says her late husband, Ed Mitchell, would be worried where mankind is headed.
He probably would be a little concerned about technology taking over. The higher tech you get, the higher touch we're going to need.
Ed was the lunar commander for Apollo 14. He walked the moon with Alan Shepard.
Said it was like Wonder Flower, the surface of the moon. And it was kind of like jumping on a trampoline. Kind of fun.
He took this photo looking back at us. She says he put the magazine in backwards, so Africa is upside down.
Thousands of years we've looked up and said, I wonder what's up there. But for the first time in mankind's history, we went up and looked back.
On the mission, space was limited and food was rationed. He was shoulder to shoulder with two other men.
They couldn't afford war. They couldn't afford to eat too much food, one person being greedy. And he likened that unto planet Earth. We can't afford what we're doing.
In the 50 years, man still hasn't discovered life outside of Earth. He spent much of his later years exploring the possibility.
Did he believe that there were other intelligent beings in the universe? As he put it, we'd be very egotistical if we did not believe that.
Perhaps he would be smiling at the idea that man's wanderlust in the 50 years has pressed far beyond where the eye can see.
And he always felt that there was no limits to the human psyche if we could but explore and know that there were no limits.
All right, you are looking live at that very same moon that tomorrow in the afternoon at 4:17 and 40 seconds will mark exactly 50 years that man first landed on the moon. We're live, Andrew Lawfome, WPTV News Channel 5.
Andrew, thank you. And tomorrow, Vice President Mike Pence marking the moon landing anniversary with a trip right here to Florida. He is scheduled to visit Kennedy Space Center tomorrow. The vice president will recognize the success of Apollo 11. He'll also address progress in NASA's return to the moon.